I'm old, and that means I like playing Pokemon games from 2003. The problem with that is they all have batteries in them, and they die. If the battery in your Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy Color, or Game Boy game has died, then when you turn it on, you'll see this message. That means you need to get your soldering stuff out. To complete this process, you will need a replacement battery. Make sure it's the right ones. You're going to need cotton buds. You're going to need a tri-wing. It's a 2.0. You're going to need some tweezers to hold it down. You're going to need some solder and soldering wick. You can use a sucker, but suckers are crap. I use the wick. And a soldering iron. You're going to need some flux and the best isopropyl alcohol that money can buy. So, undo the screw. Whip that out. Then just flip it over and take your skirt off. There you are. It looks pretty clean, to be fair. Flip it out. Get it out of that case. And have a ganders. This is the negative side. You can see. On this battery, this is the positive side. Always make sure you get the right way around. That's positive. That's positive. That side's negative. That's negative on the board. Get it the right way around. Otherwise it won't work. Put a bit of flux on there. Bit of flux on there. Now I'm going to keep this in. Because I've messed up. I go to put the solder wick on. And I've took my hand off the board. I'm trying to hold it with my little finger. But I'm trying to rush. And I stick it to it. This can happen. Just heat it up again and it will come off. There you can see I'm now holding it down properly with my little finger and my ring finger. So I sling it back on, soak up some of that solder. That's going to make life easier. Get on there. I appreciate you can't really see this, but I've just grabbed hold of the battery. I'm rubbing the soldering iron backwards and forwards, and bosh. Easy as that. She's free. Spin around. Coming in this way, don't melt the corner of the chip. Just give it some raz. Lift it up with your fingers. She'll come off. Easy. Putting the other one on. Just give it a little touch up. And that'll tack it in using the existing solder. Spin around. Do the same on the other side. If you stick your finger in between your tweezers, you can use that to hold down on the other contact. Give it a little bit of raz. And bosh. She's in there. Now that is stuck. It would work. But we're professionals. So I'm going to come back with a little bit of flux. And then all you're going to do, flow a bit of solder onto the end of your soldering iron. And drop it on the contact. Give it a little swizzeroond. Beautiful. Do that for both sides. Here you can see I'm holding this side down again just to be double sure. Come in with the isopropyl alcohol and give it a good clean up. All on the contacts, but then also around the whole general area, because flux likes to spread when it gets warm. Then let's give it a scrub. Proper scrub. Look how shiny that is. Ready for another 20 years of gaming. Slap it back in there. Slap that back on there. Flip her over. And stick your screw in. Don't over tighten it. You'll crack the front of the case. Just screw her in till it bites. And then leave it alone. Don't be a wally. Beautiful. So let's whack that in there. Fire this up. And give it a test. That's always a good sign. You'll know if the Nintendo bit doesn't come up at the bottom, and you're pretty much buggered. But let's have a ganders. Yeah, there we go, love. Sorted. Now you can play for another 20 years. Let's get it. Catch me some Pokemon. Ooh, Petalburg.
Ooh, it's better than sex.